Entrepreneurship. Her mother, all the way down to her, Faye has created a cleaning business that is really taking things to the next level. Her personal journey between domestic violence and just standing up, helping, empowering women is very inspiring. I'm so excited to have her on the show today. We're gonna be rocking it, having a lot of just professional and personal tips and advice to make our best selves come to light. Enjoy the episode, folks. It's gonna be a good one. Cheers, friends. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk to Your Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best person you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Everyone give a nice, warm welcome to my new friend, Faye. Faye, welcome to the morning show.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Doing great this morning. Last night I was talking with my girlfriend about how excited I was to have you onto the show. Your mission's been really inspiring, and the results don't lie. I guess maybe to give people a better idea of kind of where are you at, and kind of what's got you busy nowadays.
Sure, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me, first of all. I'm Faye. I'm the owner of Faye's Cleaning Services. We are located in Orland Park and we service all the southwest suburbs. My business definitely keeps me very busy. I feel as an entrepreneur, we're not just working Monday through Friday. I feel like we're working off hours and Saturdays and Sundays. And so it definitely keeps me busy. And also being a single parent as well, that keeps my hands full.
That's about as busy as it's gonna get when I hear of like parenting and entrepreneurship, but you kind of multiplied them. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little chaotic, but it sounds like life would probably be a little boring if we didn't do that anyway.
Very true.
So talk to me a little bit about your in some of on your website. I was reading through your about me and stuff. You were really influenced by your mother, it sounded like, in the cleaning business. Was what got her into it, and were you kind of helping her out? Is this something you've always kind of been doing?
Well, so my mom didn't clean houses for a living. She just cleaned our house religiously every single
Oh,
day.
okay.
And so I watched her as a child growing up, and she taught me how to clean, and I would just go do things, and I realized I was actually really good at it. I never thought, in the future that I would be cleaning houses, but I'm really grateful, that I had the experience to watch her and learn from her as well. We never lived in a dirty house. Our house was always immaculate. She was also kind of crazy and OCD when it came to cleaning.
Did you guys grow up in Illinois?
We grew up in Orland Park, actually.
Okay, Orland
Mhm.
Park. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, you clearly took it running. How long have you
Yeah.
had this cleaning business going now?
So I've had it since September of 2018. It was kind of something that I just started doing under the table and just cleaning. I was just cleaning houses on the side. I was also a caregiver at the time too when I had started cleaning houses. And what really inspired me to start cleaning houses is when I was a caregiver, I had a client that I was taking care of, and they had two cleaning ladies come and clean their house. And I was like, oh my God, I could do such a better job. It was a large house, and these two ladies were in and out within 45 minutes. And I'm like, they didn't even do everything. So that's what kind of inspired me to start cleaning houses. In 2020, when the pandemic happened, I took that opportunity to work on having a website because I didn't always have a website, changing my logo. So that logo that is on my website is the logo that I've had created since 2020, and just offering, new services. And when you look at our services, you can see all the details that we include. So I took that time in 2022, change things and just kind of revamp my business. So it's been over
So,
5.5 years since I've had my business now.
oh, cool. Yeah. And you
Yeah.
were rocking and rolling this. I mean, to a lot of people, it seems like there was a couple really different varying sides during the pandemic. Some people really
Mhm.
struggled with it and weren't really sure what to do. And then some people, including yourself, really took advantage of the time
Mhm.
and like doing some of that deep work on
Yeah.
just whether it's the website, the logo, and the just some of that under the stuff behind the scenes. You're not a one person show anymore. When did you kind of transition into, you guys got a like a team, and you build
Yeah.
quite the machine now that you guys are rocking and rolling.
Yes, and I am so grateful because hard work really does pay off. I was cleaning houses alone for like the first couple of years. I would have, help from time to time, but it's been over 2 years now that I have cleaned houses myself. So it's just so rewarding to be able to manage my business now because when I was cleaning and managing the business, it was so hard, so challenging.
What does that even, you're just kind of cleaning all day, and then are you pursuing clients, or were you kind of just getting like referrals? How do you even manage that? How do you go about growing it?
So it was hard because, like, once you're done for the day, I would have to come home, do things at home, take care of the kids, wash our work towels too, also manage household chores as well. And things were piling up too at the time. And I didn't always do estimates in person when I was cleaning houses. I never thought of like having to do them in person. So I would quote people online, and we were just getting a lot of referrals either through word of mouth on Facebook. Facebook is where we get like 95% of our business actually. And again, just referrals from people too, from our clients. So I would just give them quotes over the phone. But now that I get to manage my business for, I want to say for, I think at least 2 years now, I've been doing estimates in person. And I
Cool.
actually only do estimates in person. I don't do quotes over the phone or online without seeing the property first.
Because you had to, it sounds like you had to learn the hard way a little bit
Yeah.
about, were you just underpricing people and then it was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this took 3 times longer than I thought it would?
Yes. Yeah, there are a lot of times where I really shorted myself and it was really challenging.
Okay. But you just kind of follow through and you can't, I mean,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So you're, how many employees do you have now?
So I have two teams. Each team consists of 4 people, so 8 people right now. I have some people that are like part-time. We kind of use them like during after business hours or on weekends when needed.
Okay. So they're kind of on like a on-call basis
Yeah,
or, okay,
yeah.
very
So it's
cool.
about 10 actually.
So you're clearly a very intelligent and hardworking individual. How was the curve hiring new people? What kind of manager were you in the beginning? And then how have you kind of evolved? Were you kind of hawkish on people, or was that tough to find people to work, or what was that experience like? I would love to get some employees myself soon.
Yeah, absolutely. So during COVID, it was so challenging to find help. Even, a year later, it was really hard. And I know a lot of business owners were struggling to find staff and reliable staff. I don't think I was always the best boss or manager in the beginning because it was such a learning experience for me. And when you're cleaning houses yourself and it's your own business, you like to have control of everything. I know how to clean. I'm exceptional at cleaning. So it was really hard to find people that care the way you do. And then I think too, another thing that I noticed at is that 3 years ago, my vibrational level was not where it's at now. So I was attracting where I was at. So I wasn't always attracting the best people. Um, things have changed, and it also has a lot to do with releasing too. I have to understand not everyone is going to clean exactly the way I do. They may do things differently, but as long as the job is the same or exceptional, what I like to say, then that's really all that matters. And truthfully, now I have manifested employees that clean better than I do.
Man, good for you. That's beautiful. Finding these A
And
players.
yeah, thank you. But now, as an owner, a manager, or boss, it's about communication with your employees. You have to appreciate your employees, especially with work like this. This is not like you're, going to a job and you're just sitting behind a computer desk. It's physical labor and it's tiring. So, I have to show gratitude to my employees and, always just say thank you is bare minimum. And again, communication is so important and just listening to their needs and seeing what they need and how I can help them. So it makes my life easier.
Yeah. Have you had much, I mean, physical labor, right?
Mhm.
That was a huge reason why I kind of leaned away from property management and into like
Mhm.
coaching. I love
Mhm.
helping people and this and that, but
Right.
also like just the physical labor of like doing floors and being on your knees and stuff
Yeah,
like that. It's like, holy
it's really
mackerel.
tiring.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah. Do you get do you have high turnover with people, or they just kind of been rocking and rolling with you because they love you so much, or how's that
Before, yes. Now I have two employees who have been with me for over 3 years. They're like near and dear to my heart. They help me in my house as well, and they're just so reliable. One of them is actually a male too. I have one male employee, and he's like one of the best cleaners that we have too. And then Gabby, she's been with me for over 2 years now. Some of them, others have been with me for over 2 years or about a year. So turnover is nowhere near as bad as it was before. So people now give me a heads up, at least like a 2 weeks notice if they do decide to depart. Where before people would just be like, okay, I'm done.
peace? I'll see you
Yeah.
later. Yeah, this is tough. Okay. Where do you find these folks?
Through people that are working for me. So one of my employees, Oriana, she was working for me full time, but she went on to better adventures now. That is more suitable for her and her family. She has helped bring, I think, more than a handful of people that I have right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
On your website, it says that you guys are like an insured company.
Mhm.
What does that mean in cleaning?
Yeah, so I do have insurance for my business. God forbid if there's like an accident, we break something or some kind of serious accident happens, we are insured. So a lot of people will not hire a company that is not insured.
Totally. No, it makes
Yeah.
sense. These
Mhm.
Have you guys had any issues with I like with anyone claiming that employees have like stolen stuff? Or I feel like that would be kind of like, or is it weird like do people like watch you on cameras and stuff?
A lot of
Or
our customers do have cameras, and totally understandable. I respect that. I have cameras as well myself. Um, but thankfully, we haven't had any issues with theft. I've never had that issue, thankfully. And I'm so grateful with the people that I do have because it's not something that ever comes to my mind if they would steal. Actually, I've made mistakes on their paychecks where I've overpaid them and they tell me. And they could just let that go, but
wow, yeah,
they're just
totally.
so truthful. So I did it last week, and one of them told me, she's like, "You overpaid me 2 hours." I'm like, I love my employees. We've had accidents, unfortunately, where like we may accidentally break something. What's most important is that we notify the customer immediately, and we correct it and see how we can help the customer. And mistakes happen, and unfortunately, things like that are inevitable. It's just taking ownership and fixing it or resolving it for the customer.
Yeah. Is there, so you're in the suburbs, and I was looking at can't remember what video I was looking at the other day, but some of these houses that you're cleaning are absolutely stunning. Are you guys
Yes.
only doing like mansions in the suburbs, or
Oh gosh, I
what
wish we
kind
were
of
doing
houses
even more. We
are you?
So we primarily do clean large homes. Since we do provide a team of 4 people, clients with large homes typically want a team, no less than 3 because of time. We service Frankfurt, Mokina, New Lenox, especially Frankfurt. Those are the areas that have very large homes. So we have very large homes. We have a few houses in Lamont and Burridge as well, and those homes are ginormous as well. But we love it. We love it, and those are the houses we actually enjoy the most.
Dang.
Yeah.
Is what's some you talked about like being very clean, and then there was you saw with your own eyes another company team not doing quality work.
Mhm.
What are some like things about cleaning your own home that you would recommend to people, like tips or ideas? I feel like I get I just don't have your type energy, and then I get home from work and I'm like, oh gosh, I can't do
Yeah,
this
you know
or
what?
whatever.
It's about being consistent and breaking things up. So I think most importantly, keeping up with your floors is like the number one thing. You know, if you can't get to dusting your furniture, do your floors. Keeping up with the bathrooms, whether it's just wiping down the toilets and wiping down the counters. That's really important. Things that I notice that can build up are like the light fixtures or baseboards, the doors. If those aren't being washed at least monthly, you're going to notice that they build up. So, like when I go do estimates in person, this is why I like to do estimates in person because I like to see, what is being neglected and what needs more attention. I always notice that the light fixtures, the baseboards, those are always the dirtiest. What I love about our services too, that a lot of companies that I don't really know anyone that does it, honestly. We include the inside of the ovens. So we actually clean the inside of ovens. Those are never cleaned as well. And I always find those to be the dirtiest, but we include that with our services too. So, it's just keeping up. For example, when I cook, I am washing the stove right away after the cabinets that are above the stove. I wipe those down immediately just because those can be the dirtiest because of all the steam that is rising. It sticks on the cabinets, so and it turns greasy. So wiping down like the top of the microwave or under the microwave, especially if it's on top of the stove, I'm always wiping that down immediately. When I am cooking, I am doing dishes at the same time. So trying to be efficient as much as possible because I know if I don't do it right away, I am going to let it just sit there and build.
Yeah, just that's what tends to happen.
Yeah.
The longer away, the worse it gets. Go
Yes.
figure. So being I mean, keeping up with house, and do you have any tips or tricks for getting your kids to like participate and help, or are you like get out of the way and I'll just do it, or do you like is there like a teaching process to have them be a little tidier? Seems like
You
kids can be tornadoes.
Yeah, yeah, tell me about it, especially since I have 2 boys. Uh, I feel like we could clean a room and then it's a disaster the next, which is so normal. I mean, they're kids and it's about just living life and having fun. We shouldn't always worry about keeping the house clean 24/7, we need to be free and just enjoy our lives. But I think what's important is just teaching them at a young age because they think it's really cool when they're learning how to wash dishes or even put the dishwasher on and how to load the dishes. The other day, I actually taught my oldest how to clean the toilet. And I was so proud of him because last night he told me, he's like, "Oh, I cleaned the toilet, by the way. And I did it the way you showed me." So it's just about teaching them, and they're not always going to do it the way you want. But, as they get older, at least they have those tools to do it themselves because a lot of people do not know how to clean. I walk in a lot of houses and you may be terrified with some of the things that I see, but it's so normal, I guess, just to see that people just don't have those same skills.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it is. We have some rental properties, so we've seen some. I had this one hoarder property, and I was like, my
Oh
God,
my
just
God. Yeah.
the. It seems like almost from like a mental health perspective,
Oh
it has a
yeah.
huge influence
It
on
really
when
does.
your home is
Hmm.
clean and the way you want it. And when a home's clean, my
Yeah.
favorite thing in the world is like when the home's clean and you open up some windows and you get like some fresh air.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
yeah, so what does like a clean home do for your mental health?
Oh, I feel like so much at peace, honestly. I feel like if my house is messy, like I have just a few dishes, just like a blender that needs to be washed right now. So that's fine. But I mean, if things are piling up and I have loads of laundry to do, it gives me anxiety so bad. And then I feel overwhelmed. And then it gets to the point where I don't want to do it because of the anxiety it causes and that overwhelming feeling. So, and then that's when things start to build up. So that's why it's important just to have, to keep your mind, your health regulated as much as possible and to, kind of stay on top of things, which I know is so hard. I get it. A lot of us work, a lot of us are parents. Um, it's all about balance and just, maybe making time to schedule things in your calendar as well to take care of some priorities.
You said segmenting the home, or is that just like a room by room basis, like, or what do you mean by that?
Oh, so okay, so for example, myself, I will do one floor at a time. I live in a townhouse and it's not large by any means, so I could probably do both floors at a time, but I get so carried away with cleaning that my main floor for someone could take an hour where it took me last week like 4 hours because I was just doing everything from top to bottom, but that's just me personally. But I think breaking things up is absolutely important and it's just less stressful and it's less overwhelming. So, whether it's doing kitchen and bathrooms at once or, your main floor at once, doing bedrooms a different time. Um, Me personally as well, if I can't do everything at once, I ask my employees to help me. So Linda and David, the ones that have been with me for over 3 years, they help me, especially Linda. She was helping me clean my bathrooms yesterday, actually, just because I told her I'm like, I don't have time and I really need help. So it's okay to ask for help
It's
and
okay to
hire a
ask for
cleaning
help.
service.
Yeah. Hire a cleaning service. Yeah.
Yes.
Hire Faye and her team. You guys have a bunch
Yes.
of machines. This between just organizing, my girlfriend's been really into just like cleaning up space, getting rid of like repurposing rooms and like
Mhm.
just like decluttering and stuff. And it's like really satisfying. And
It
it's
is,
yeah,
absolutely.
very satisfying. And so between that, but I really liked what you said about um, overwhelm and anxiety. I feel like we all got a bunch of overwhelm and anxiety riled
Yeah.
up in us, and maybe just cleaning the house and cleaning your bedroom and following these like principles. Like if you live in chaos, I feel like it's
Mhm.
pretty hard to avoid feeling chaotic. But
Yeah,
no, that makes a lot of
absolutely.
sense.
And that's why I said balance is so important as well, getting yourself grounded, whether it's going outdoors for you, getting in water, whatever works for you. Like thankfully my gym has a pool or like the jacuzzi. I personally love being outdoors, so whether it's getting, my feet on the ground, the sun like we had talked about in the past that is, like, so soothing for me. So I think getting yourself grounded and then just coming back and being like, "Okay, I can do this." That helps.
Yeah. Yeah, so these it sounds like these grounding tools, understanding things, because I mean it's safe to say that your journey hasn't been easy. And I
Yeah.
actually was introduced to you through Jennifer Ramirez, one of
Mm,
the founders and people over at Anrise.
mhm.
Do you mind kind of sharing more about your background story and stuff
Yeah.
that you've overcome and how you kind of been able to handle yourself up to today? It's really impressive.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I would love to share my story. So I was in an abusive marriage. My ex-husband was not only physically abusive, but he was emotionally and verbally abusive. And it was more of the verbal and emotional abuse that was really challenging compared to the physical abuse. Um, so he broke my shoulder in 2017, and I felt that was like my escape out of the marriage. Prior to that, he would always tell me, "Oh, you're crazy, I'll keep full custody of the kids." And I had like no idea at the time that, that was just abuse as well, and it was manipulation, and so I had no idea. So he broke my shoulder, like I said, in 2017. I filed divorce at that time, and my divorce took 2 years. And I was divorced in 2019, and it was one of the best things that I've done for myself, honestly. I grew up in an abusive household. My parents were actually both abusive. And so, unfortunately, when you're, not in a home full of love and where they're teaching you, to be confident, when they're not showing you love, you're not going to, unfortunately, attract that because you weren't taught that. So I feel that I manifested someone exactly like my father. They have so many similarities. Um, so in 2020, I actually did this course. It was called Raise Your Vibration, and I learned a lot about positive mindset. My friend Marissa, who was the coach for this program, she would have us do activities, and she would have us meditate. And the meditating actually really changed my life as well because it was a hard practice at first, but after being consistent, I would actually start seeing things in my meditation. I was having visions, I would start hearing things, and that's what actually had me explore spirituality. So I feel like since 2020 is when things really started to turn around for me. And that's when things started to turn around for my business, and things were growing because I was growing inside as well and discovering myself and who I am. I married at a young age. I was 22 turning 23. So I didn't love myself. And I thought when I had met my ex-husband at the time, like, that's it. Like, this is my only opportunity. I had no idea. So I really encourage people to take their time and, really get to know people.
Yeah. Yeah, this beautiful balance of getting to know other people and having an opportunity to really get to know yourself.
Yeah.
It's so interesting that our parents and the roles that they play tend to like attract those type of people. Is that like a pattern that you've noticed with a lot
Yeah.
of other survivors and people who you've
Yes.
been able to touch and work with?
Yeah, a lot of my friends that are survivors, they've had issues in their childhood. A lot of other people too that I've met, they've opened up to me about their childhood traumas as well. So it's interesting just to see that connection. But I do believe that most of the time it's because of things that have happened in our childhood.
What So there comes a point to where the pain becomes too much, it seems, and really strong. And not everyone, unfortunately, gets out of the fly trap or whatever analogy would be helpful. But some people break out of it and get help and stuff. Did you know that you needed like outside support, or was it encouraged by a friend, or like that initial part seems the hardest to
Yeah.
kind of like get that external support as humans are social creatures. Like what kind of what was that like for you, like reaching out or kind of what happened for you?
So while I was married, I would get help because I thought there was something wrong with me. And I don't think I had the best counselors or therapists, unfortunately, that would tell me like you're in an abusive relationship. Versus like now where I have really great therapists and counselors. And actually, since I met Jennifer in, let's see, I want to say 2022, maybe. If I'm wrong, please forgive me, Jenny. I think maybe it was late 2021 or early 2022 when I had met her. So I actually started going to her support groups, and I learned majority of what I know now from her and her support groups and the programs that she offers. I learned a lot when it comes to dating, a lot when it comes to red flags, narcissist, manipulation, gaslighting, love bombing. I learned that all through And Rise. And so I am so grateful because you don't always get that support. Sorry. Um, because before, like my own mother, for example, she would say that I was the one that was wrong and I was doing things wrong and that I need to be doing better. Or like when I would go to my ex-husband's family, it was things that I was doing wrong. So discovering and rise, like you get that validation and love that you need and that, you weren't wrong and that it wasn't me.
Yeah. No, it's very, very beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
These the emotion's so real because it's so authentic and really true, and it's the pain that you have bared is it seems to be the saving life for so many other people within their own relationships and the stuff that you're learning. So
Yeah,
what was
sorry to interrupt, I've had, since I've been so honest and transparent about my journey over the last couple of years, I've had so many women come to me and tell me about their experiences, and I love that they feel safe to share that with me and just know that what they're going through and how they're feeling, it's just, I understand and it's what they're feeling, it's just validated. So I'm grateful for my experience and I wouldn't change anything about it. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. I actually have that tattooed on me. Everything happens for a reason. It's my favorite quote. Um, because it really does. Everything is happening for us, not to us. And there's nothing that we can't overcome. So I'm grateful for the opportunity that was given for me because it has allowed me to evolve and I have made a successful business out of it. And I have discovered myself and I'm still learning about myself and still growing and evolving.
this everlasting journey of growing and evolving
Yes.
and part of the human experience in life, so beautiful. These so with like the groups, was it in person, was it online, or like do you what's kind of what's your loving way to like connect and to kind of like work on stuff?
I've always done the in-person support groups. I just love being in person. I'm not much of a Zoom person, only like for work calls, I like to do it. But I love the in-person support groups because I just feel that you're surrounded by all this love and other women's energy too. And everyone is just so supportive. Every time I've gone to Ann Rise's support group, I walk out, I'm like, "Oh, I'm so glad that I went. I feel so much better." So they've always been in person, and I've also volunteered at events or at least attended events, and they're so wonderful. I think some of my favorite events are like the Galentine's events because they help you work on self-love, and that's what we all need to be doing is loving ourselves first.
Yeah. What does self-love mean to you?
Pouring into my own cup and loving myself. So whether telling myself that I'm beautiful and, giving to myself first, because if I'm wanting to give to others, like my children, for example, I need to make sure that I'm taking care of myself first. And, just doing anything that makes me feel good, whether it's dressing up, putting makeup on, um, going out, taking myself out on dates, that's self-love. Self-love
It
could come in so many different forms. It's different for everyone.
seems it's pretty much impossible to love other people if we don't truly love ourselves.
So true.
Do you mind sharing a little bit about, so after going through a lot of this um, hardship and using this pain as your superpower, but understanding that relationships are amazing and they are loving. And
Mhm.
do you mind sharing like your mindset on like meeting new people now and like what are things that you're looking for and looking out for that you maybe learned from the group? Like it seems like it's really
Yeah.
hard to get back into
Mhm.
it after something like this.
Well, before I get into dating, I think forming friendships first was really important because the friends that I've had um, before COVID, I just felt that the more I started working on myself, I just noticed that my vibrational level was different. Not that I was better, but I just noticed that, we're just different and we're no longer aligned. So I'm a girl's girl, and I want to have genuine, real, deep friendships where with women that support me. And thankfully, I have Jenny and Christina. Those are my best friends, and I've met both of them through and Rise. So just having genuine women that empower you and are supportive no matter what, because I'm nowhere near perfect, but in they have taught me so much. So I think having important friendships is so important. People that you could turn to because um, people like me that have, grew up in an abusive household, I don't turn to my family. I have very strong boundaries with my family. So I feel that Jenny and Christina are my family. Um, so when it comes to dating, it took a long time to start like attracting better men. After my divorce, or like while I was going through divorce, I was dating, and I was just attracting terrible men. Like when I reflect back, I was like, oh my gosh, I was still attracting narcissists, still attracting men that love bomb me or gaslit me, or they were just so manipulative. Um, and then the more I worked on myself, I would just start setting my intentions about like what I want, what I'm looking for, what I'm deserving of. So it's been a journey, but I am not discouraged to date because of my past experiences. I've actually have met really, really great men. It's just sometimes we're not always on the same page, and I don't believe that we should settle for less by any means. Like if there's something that you want, that is okay. There are things that are non-negotiable for me. There are things that I am particular about, and that's okay. If someone says you're asking for too much or you should settle for less, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There are really great men out there. So it's just, taking the time, getting to know people, um, don't put all of your eggs in one basket. I
Mhm.
know it could be challenging dating, or getting to know numerous people at once, especially since I'm an introvert and I have to save my energy a lot. It can be tiring, but I'm having fun with it right now, so just enjoying it.
Good for you.
Thank you.
That's so amazing. Well, we talked about energy and vibrations, and I
Mhm.
wanted to pull up over here a newer business development that you've been having. Phase Ferry Services, Reiki sessions.
Yes.
Um, now, what is this exactly? Can you kind of, for the complete novice to it,
Yeah,
can you kind of break down what this is and how it helped you
absolutely.
and helps others?
Yeah, I discovered Reiki in 2020, or 2021. I don't remember, one of those years. But so Reiki is energy healing. So it's when Reiki practitioners use their hands to deliver energy to your body, specifically um, your chakras, which are energy points. We have seven of them. So for me, when I'm doing Reiki on someone, I am looking to remove any blockages that they have in their chakras, or just anything that is no longer serving somebody, whether they're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression. I am helping them release all that negativity, all that toxicity from them as well, and just allowing them to align. So, aligning all of their chakras and allowing them to feel at peace. What I love about Reiki too. So you're meditating basically with for Reiki. So you go down, you lay down, excuse me, you lay down, and the Reiki practitioner works on you for about an hour. Typically, that's the average session is an hour. Um, so, I work on them. And sometimes things come up for me. Like I know when I was working on my girlfriend a few months ago, her mom who has passed away, I felt like she was helping me. So sometimes things come up for me. Um, and sometimes like when you're working on someone, you could feel more heat on a part of their body. And for me, that's telling me that they have a blockage somewhere there, or maybe they're dealing with some kind of like illness or pain. So what I love about Reiki too, it's holistic. So, I can't say that, you know, it cures diseases, but I know people that, and I've done research where they say that Reiki did help cure a disease or illness. We always recommend going to see your doctor, of course, if you're experiencing any pain or illness, but it's holistic. People that are cancer patients, they have Reiki done to them often, actually.
Oh,
So
good.
I love Reiki as well because, like I mentioned earlier, it provides clarity. So if you're stressed, you're anxious, you're dealing with a really tough situation in your life, Reiki provides clarity and it just helps clear your mind. I love when it opens my third eye chakra. That's related to intuition. And I feel like I just get all these brilliant ideas after a session. So it's really helpful.
Wow. Yeah. So for someone, I feel a lot of like just tightness
Mm.
in my chest, and it kind
Yeah.
of like freaks me out. Like, is there something wrong with me and this and that? And
Yeah.
I exercise all the time. We eat all these amazing foods and very,
Mm.
very healthy. And but I'm like sometimes in my head too much.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would kind of like recommend for someone like me with like tightness in my chest? Seems to be
So
my
I
point.
would meditate on that and see why that comes up for you. What is causing that? Of course, see a doctor. I am not a firm believer of seeing doctors and taking medicine. Honestly, I hate taking medicine. Um, but I would meditate on that and see where that is coming from because any pain, any illnesses that we have, it's because we're causing it. to ourselves, you know. So, for example, I know a family member who is under stress, and she's having health issues, and it's all because of the stress that she causes to herself. So that's why having a positive mindset is so important. If anyone, one of my favorite books, it's called The Secret. Recommend that to everyone. It's really, really helpful.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that leads us, Faye, into the last segment of our show where we're going to learn just a little bit more about you. So let's go down here. We're going to go to the board, folks. You've probably heard these questions before, but use them for your journaling prompts. Use them to just gain a little bit more insight on yourselves, how we can improve ourselves, how we can be better for the people we love and care about most. So, Faye, first question I have for you this morning is, what is one way that you can be kinder to yourself?
Speaking much nicer to myself, honestly. I do get in my head. I know I was talking about positive mindset. It is really hard to, practice that all of the time. So just speaking more nicely to myself, having more grace, and um, giving to myself first.
Positive inner dialogue. What is one thing that you love about yourself?
Ooh, I feel like there's so much. um, let's see. Well, aside from my giving heart, I love my curly hair. So.
Okay, curly hair. Yeah, I love it. It's funny, when I was a kid, Justin Bieber was like the man, and
Yeah.
I would really curly hair, and I would wear a hat even in the
To flatten
summertime
it.
to flatten it. And now looking back, and now like curly hair is like the coolest thing. I'm like,
It
damn it. The Yes,
is.
no, you're rocking it. Or it turns out just embracing your look is actually what's attractive, but whatever.
Exactly.
Okay. Next one is, what do you want to celebrate at the end of this year? What would you like to celebrate?
I feel that there's something that is going to happen in my business that is going to be huge. So celebrating um, the growth of my business.
Okay. Growth of business. The cleaning company?
Yes.
Cleaning.
I love that you have a chalkboard.
Oh yeah, it's just a whole wall.
Yeah,
And
I
you
love
can buy
that.
the special paint. It's thick as
Oh, no
tar.
way. That is so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we're scribbling on it all the time. It's great for brainstorming and, well,
That's
this
great.
too, but okay. The next one we have is, what is your biggest challenge right now? What is your biggest challenge?
My biggest challenge is probably my mindset sometimes, and I don't always react gracefully to situations or triggers or just anything that comes up. I really want to learn. I'm still learning. I am learning, I should say, but just, not taking things personal.
Yeah. No, that's just hard to do.
It
It's
is. I recommend the book, The Four Agreements. Amazing. One of my other favorite books too.
okay. The Four Agreements, Secrets. I just
Mhm.
picked up a couple books from the library. I've kind of been on a history kick lately, but it
Love
feels like
history.
this. It's hard to, like, if you don't have just a list of titles, it's so easy to be like, I don't feel like doing this, and then like I would just watch a bunch of TV. But
Yeah,
that's not how I'm looking to spend my time. All
that's
right.
right.
On the last one I have for you this morning is, what is your number one goal? What is your number one goal?
To get heavy into commercial cleaning. We
Ooh,
do
okay.
commercial cleaning, but I want to dive deeper into it.
Man, yeah, that seems like an amazing opportunity.
Yes.
You just got to reach out to people or put a portfolio together to get like these office managers to be like, hell yeah, Faye, come on in, let's do this once every. It seems like the consistency in the checks could be incredible.
Yeah, it's really about putting yourself out there. So whether it's like meeting people in person, reaching out, cold calling, I'm still learning, so just trying to figure that out.
Okay, man. Put a brand together. Let's rock and roll it. All right, folks. Oop, shifting up the screens here. Well, Faye, thank you so much for coming on the show. What is the best way for folks to get a hold of you?
Sure. So they can contact me at email info@phasecleaningservices.com. They can call me at 312-639-8883. If people are wanting to schedule an estimate, they can visit my website and schedule an estimate online, which is really, really nice. I love my website. Um, and that's it. Or, I mentioned email. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Alrighty, Faye, we're going to head out of here. Stick around. We'll be chatting a little bit after the show, but say
Awesome.
goodbye to our folks at home.
Bye.
You
Thanks so
guys
much for
have an
having me.
incredible day. In case you need to hear it, folks, I love you. Have an awesome Friday, and I'll see you Monday morning with another episode. Talk to you tomorrow. Cheers, friends. We're out of here.